Francis Fox Tuckett FRGS was an English mountaineer. He was vice president of the Alpine Club from 1866 to 1868 and a fellow of the Royal Geographical Society. Tuckett was born in 1834 at the Old House, Frenchay Common, near Bristol, the eldest child of Francis and Mariana Tuckett. His father, Francis Tuckett of Frenchay, was a world traveller as well as a leather merchant, horticulturalist, social reformer, philanthropist and Quaker. Himself the son of Philip de Bell Tuckett, Francis Tuckett married Mariana Fox, a daughter of Robert Fox the elder, and a member of the notable Fox family of Falmouth, on 29 March 1833. Francis Tuckett was in Naples when he died in 1868. Tuckett's grandfather Robert Fox the elder was a Quaker shipbroker and businessman in Cornwall, while his uncle Robert Fox the younger was a geologist and natural philosopher who became a Fellow of the Royal Society. Francis Fox Tuckett was the eldest of 5 children, and his parents' only son. His eldest sister Elizabeth Fox Tuckett, born in 1835, died young, and his other sisters were a second Elizabeth Fox, followed by Mariana Fox and Charlotte Fox. Tuckett entered his father's business as a leather factor, and was also a gentleman farmer all of his life, taking 2 to 3 months off each year for alpine exploration. In 1882, his business, under the name of Tuckett and Rake, was at 18 and 20 Victoria Street, Bristol, and was described as leather, Valonia, and rawhide factors. On 17 January 1896, at the age of 62, Tuckett married Alice Fox, while he was in New Zealand. He died in 1913 at his birthplace, the Old House, Frenchay Common, and was buried at the Friends Meeting House in Frenchay. Tuckett was one of the main figures of the golden age of alpinism, making the ascent of 269 peaks and the crossing of 687 passes. In scrambles amongst the Alps, Edward Whymper called Tuckett that mighty mountaineer, whose name is known throughout the length and breadth of the Alps. Geoffrey Winthrop Young called Tuckett's approach to climbing encyclopedic. His first trip to the Alps was in 1842 in the company of his father. They went to Chamonix and he explored the Murder Glace. The wind of such violence as almost to carry off one's legs, driving snow, and 20 degrees Fahrenheit of frost, are not quite the companions one would select for examination of so vast a landscape, but I unhesitatingly maintain that there is a joy in these measurings of the strength of nature in her wildest moods, a quiet sense of work done, in the teeth of the opposition. In 1861, Tuckett tested a prototype alpine sleeping bag. Within a few years he had perfected a bag design which consisted of blanket material with rubber-coated fabric on the underside. According to Whymper, Tuckett halted before the Point des Écrins, and, dismayed by its appearance, withdrew his forces to gather less dangerous laurels elsewhere. The expedition did have the benefit, however, of some light on the Écrins. Tuckett was also one of the first alpinists to explore the Dolomites in Italy. In 1864, together with Douglas William Freshfield, he traversed the Pale di San Martino group in eastern Trentino, crossing the San Martino Dolomites for the first time, a feat which astonished the mountaineering world as they had no maps and little equipment, relying on skill and intuition. In Trentino, the names of Tuckett, Freshfield, John Ball, and Edward Robson Whitwell are remembered as the pioneers who put the Dolomites on the map. In 1871, in the Brenta Dolomites, Tuckett, with Freshfield and Guy Devwasu, climbed the Cima Brenta via the Vedretta di Brenta Superior on the west side. At the time this peak was thought to be the highest summit in the range. The Refugio Tuckett above Madonna di Campiglio, situated at an altitude of 2,272 meters in the Brenta Dolomites, is named after him, as is the Bocca del Tuckett, a pass between 2 steep rocky peaks that may be seen from the hut